How's the Wi-Fi?
Oh my God.
No
Oh, you good, you good,
way.
you good, you good, you good now, you good now.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
good
piss
now,
me
you
off.
good now, you good now. Scotty Weaver, ladies and gentlemen. He's back
Hey,
in the flesh.
we were low key still streaming from the Dallas Wi-Fi. That's what happened.
Oh man, the Minecraft Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh man. When the last time you been on here?
I'd probably say about about a month. I told you I'd come on like 3 more times, but get back
And,
now.
and he flicks every time, just like how I expect Robert Cologne to flick today. And my expectation, I'm gonna be honest with you, Scott. Before we even dive into a lot of these things that we're about to talk about, when it comes to some of this stuff, my expectations are very low.
Mhm.
You guys be flicking, man. Accountability.
It's more so nobody's on time. You know how it is on the trips.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying like people will tell you they'll be in the lobby at 2 and it'll be 2:30. So it's like they're gonna join your live stream at 8. They don't come till 9.
Nasty work.
Mm-hmm.
This is because this is totally different. This is a narrative thing. We're trying to tell a story of things, and motherfuckers
Mm-hmm.
is late to their story. What is the ethos of your brand?
What word did you
Yeah,
just say?
yeah, the ethos. Yeah, yeah. What is the ethos? What
Ethos.
is the meaning of your brand?
The meaning of next chapter?
Yes.
Oh man. I never really like thought about it. It's I guess it's just like when you think it's over, there's still another story, you know? That's really it. A lot of guys are done playing pro or guys didn't go to where they wanted to go. So next chapter is just like I guess it just like encompasses a vibe of it's not over because this now exists.
I want to ask you this. Uh, I feel like I'm saying we pivot every 6 months. I feel like six months,
Mhm.
6 months to a year we pivot. What has been the most recent pivot? And just describe the most recent pivot.
Most recent pivot is introducing content to our website and allowing the fans to actually play a part in the funding and the growth and the players receiving contracts and things like that. That's been the most recent pivot. I think we're just starting to the only way that we've been trying to build out a professional way to play basketball online so people are getting their contracts, monthly payments, things like that. The only way to do that is to have a substantial amount of revenue coming in, and we had to introduce our website in order to get to that level. And now we're doing these tournaments, and there's going to be a lot more consistency. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be being announced that they signed here, which is going to open up a lot of attention for some pros that are overseas that want to take this more seriously, but now they're going to see how serious it really is.
So basically, what you're saying is through the fans supporting, they are now allowing players to be signed to TNC, and actually, we don't have to see these overseas pro guys go across the water because now they have a spot in America where they can grow their
Yep.
own brand and be a part of a particular entity. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, and it's not going to be for all pros. Like clearly, Caleb had to go overseas because he gets great pay over there. Pretty sure BJ's about to also go overseas. He gets great pay over there. It's not going to be. It's not quite to that level yet where we can be competitive with some of the top leagues that are over there. But definitely like the low tier and the mid tier. Like I think that this is a much better. It's a much better route if you're fully invested in it because truthfully, you're going to waste your time if you come into this space and just like wait for paychecks in order to come and play. It's like you have to take full advantage of like what it is to be a professional in the space of content creation. If you're not working on growing your own channel, if you're not working on starting a brand, if you're not working on posting your own stuff on social media and growing your fan base there and being involved in your own community, then like it's not for you. If it's just a paycheck for you, then you're never going to hit the real ceiling of what it can be. Honestly, I think the best way to look at it is we try to position guys to become their own like entrepreneurs in a way, starting their own thing while using the momentum and what TNC is, and it all kind of just funnels back in. It can be like one big umbrella, but a lot of guys that are overseas, let's just say hypothetically, somebody's making 10K overseas and there's an opportunity to be making 5K a month with TNC over here. The other 5K that you'd be giving up by not being overseas, that's really on you to make your own content and start your own clothing or do your own training or just use any momentum it is to make up for the gap that you are missing. But in time, you'll eventually grow to a point where I believe a lot of these guys are going to be able to make more than they're making overseas unless they're playing in leagues where their contracts are like $250,000 every year.
Yeah. So the pivot to from well, not from YouTube, but to add on more TNC League content. Can you explain to the viewer how do I even phrase this question? YouTube revenue in a sense.
Um, okay, so on YouTube, right, and it's no secret, like it doesn't take us to be like screenshot this is how much money comes in, all that. You just do the math. YouTube can typically make between like $6 to $10 for every 1,000 views that you get. So if you're thinking about like 100K coming in, that could be $600 or 100K views. That can be like $600 down to $1,000. And a lot of times when videos go really, really, really viral, what ends up happening is it goes from 100K views all the way up to 1 million views, but all of those new viewers that are tuning in, they're actually watching the video for a lesser watch time. And the less watch time you get, the lower your RPM's even going. So sometimes you see 1 million views, and that formula of the 6 to 10 per 100,000, or sorry, per 1,000 is really not the formula for those million view videos. It'll be even lower. It'll be like $3 to $5. We've had some videos where they've crushed over 1 million and they've dropped down to like $3 per 1,000 views because the watch time is so low, because it's hitting an algorithm and a lot of new people are clicking on it for the first time and they're watching a little and then they're tuning out. But YouTube revenue is just like, we don't even really think of YouTube revenue as a means of our income at this point. Like, it's TNC League, it's merchandise, it's ticket sales at the event. YouTube is literally just a way to get more fans, because making $2,000 to $3,000 off of a video, that's not going to do anything when there's 15 to 20 people that we got to pay in order to make one video.
Yeah. What do you say to the people that are critical of contracts in terms of allowing players to go where they want to go?
Uh, I just think it's looking at it from the perspective of like, when guys are playing professional overseas, when you sign to one league, you're not going to play in other leagues. And if that had happened, you'd see a lot of guys just like jumping all over the place, and now these leagues would all fall apart. There's a lot of consistency that needs to happen. It's also stability for some people, and that's if people are making enough money that they're comfortable with, and nobody's forced to sign anything. And we might hold ourselves to a standard where, if you don't want to be a part of this, then you're not going to be a part of any of it unless you do sign. That's kind of the direction that we are looking to go. And a big reason is, the more that TNC grows, the more and more that we commit back to paying people a certain amount. So if somebody just wants to be here for 1 month and we make that commitment and we give them a good commitment and then they bounce out, like, that'll affect everybody's contracts moving down. So the way that we look to move is just like pretty much all as one for as long as we can, until somebody might not feel it's the right thing for them anymore, or we might feel it's not the right thing to have them a part of it anymore.
Yeah. How difficult is that to make that decision?
It's definitely very hard because a lot of these guys don't see the fame that they're used to. Sorry, they're not used to the type of fame that you get from playing in one of these videos, to where no one knows who you are, and then you play one game and now everybody knows who you are. And when that happens, everybody's kind of like knocking at your door saying, "Hey, I want you to be a part of this event and this event and this event and this event." And it's very appealing. It's very appealing to take all of those offers, but it definitely doesn't help the trajectory and the path that we're trying to build with people. So sometimes it's hard. Like, we'll have a new guy come in and it's a tough conversation to be like, "Hey, we're looking to build with you. We want to put you in this position for 2 to 3 months and see where you can go, see how big your name can get, see how valuable you are to the team. And then we kind of talk about a contract and what it looks like, and really evaluate from there." But during that time period, like, we don't know these guys. So they don't know whether to trust us or not. So if we just go to them and we say, "Hey, like, you're going to come over here, be a part of our stuff, but we're asking you not to take other opportunities outside. And it just kind of creates a little bit of a challenge at first, but as they start to really understand all that goes into it, I think they get a lot more clarity and they're more so down to sign when it's presented.
Yeah. My next question for you, bro, is we all seen Rob, right? And how he's been doing, et cetera, et cetera. Are there any plans for him to have a big matchup soon? Like
Um,
Nas?
not it wouldn't necessarily be Nas for TNC. But we are looking at some matchups. I mean, we've had a conversation with Rob even in the sense of like, yo, there might not be something for you for TNC03. It might have to be a TNC04 thing because we're reaching out to a lot of players, not players that are necessarily in the space at the moment because obviously like there are two different sides of the content basketball world and there's a roster elsewhere and there's a roster here.
Yeah.
Um, so we're looking at a lot of like current G League guys and former NBA guys. I've mentioned a few guys in the Discord before, but I don't want to throw their names out here in the chat right now. But there's a chance if we can't find the right matchup. I mean, Rob will, no matter what, like we're looking out for him and we're looking out for the guys. If they don't have a matchup, we're not going to force something. We're going to still make sure that they're taken care of, but we're going to look past TNCO3 to look at TNCO4 to make sure they get the right opportunity.
Yeah. Were there any conversations with Nas? I mean, obviously, don't go into depth. Just if there were any conversations with Nas at all about playing Rob potentially, or any
Yeah,
conversations with Rob to play Nas.
yeah. I mean, we've definitely spoke. Regardless of some of the tension, obviously between platforms and platforms, um, we've had an open and honest relationship with Nas. And we chatted to him a little bit about it because in TNC, for TNCO2, they were supposed to play, and it ended up not really working out the way that we needed it to work out so that we could promote it the proper way.
Hmm.
So that was kind of pulled away off the table. And then, there was just obviously a lot of pressure from the fans that they wanted to see this game. So I felt like the right thing to do was to just have an open and honest conversation and be like, hey, if you did want to make this game happen, this is right about where we could make it happen, but it would have to come, there would have to be meeting in the middle on what it is. So it ended up not really working out that way, but I think that everything is still cordial and everything is still respectful, but I just don't see it happening soon on TNC at least.
Oh man, I feel like this is gonna be one of these mega matches that never happen, and if it does, it's gonna be when they're past their prime. Uh, my next question for you is a guy like let's see some guys that I can think of. A guy like Ness, a guy like I'm gonna keep it at Ness right now. Obviously, he's very very interested in being a participant within what we do here at TNC. All right, hold on, we got a super chat real quick. The beef is holding up the matchups we truly want to see, Scotty. Let's not forget what TNC 01 did for the space.
Yeah. I mean, my response to that would be just we're a different brand trying to grow in a different way. We have our own vision on what it is, and there's it just doesn't make sense for us to do it right now because there's a lot of challenges that we have to overcome internally, even on our end, in order to make sure that it's best suiting for the players. So the fans want things to happen as fast as possible, but they don't really understand like one wrong decision of whether making something happen too soon or waiting too long or just doing it in the wrong way can affect everything in a negative way or a positive way. But I think that the matchup happening right now in the way that it would have to be done over here if we were to do it, I think would have way too many negative effects. And I'd much rather just keep going in the direction that we're going and be focused on what we're building and just move that way. So I understand that the fans would love to see everybody come together and collab and all of that, but it's just not our vision. And I don't think the direction that we're heading and what we're trying to build is comparable in a way that's not this is better or this is worse. It's just like a this is where we're going. Like this our vision and what we're trying to do. And there's a different vision with this. And that's just the truth.
Will there be any TNC League games to drop on YouTube?
You're talking about the ones that have already been on there?
Yeah.
Well, we have Kel and Malik coming out on YouTube, and we have Day Day and Jay Horn. So we are looking to move in a way where those exclusive games now for the subscribers are actually going to be live streams, and they're still going to come out for free on YouTube. It's just going to be like 3 weeks later. The reason for that is just like everything that we do, it's going to be we're going to make the mistake and we're going to do the right thing all the time. Like sorry, the way that I want to explain it is we're always going to do something wrong every time we do something right. And I think what happened was some of these guys like Lat or Keon, they haven't really got to be exposed to the mass majority of the fan base, which also holds them back, but also presents them in a way of like extreme value because it's like, damn, I only get to watch Lat play this way and I only get to watch Keon play this way. It helps them, but at the same time it hurts them. And it's for us, we're trying to figure out the formula right now. And I think the best way to do it is to live stream it and present it and give them that pinnacle game, but still release it for free on YouTube later so that they can pick up new fans.
Yeah. Okay. So damn. Okay. So we got Kel and Malik dropping in like a few weeks, as well as Data and J Home. But I do think it's also important that even if let's say those games do stay on TNC League, right? I just think it's important, like if Lat gets a city matchup, just you know what I'm saying, just like some things like just so we could be exposed to the fans like that in situations because some of those matchups are valuable enough to keep on TNC League throughout the entirety of its, you feel what I'm saying, of its existence. Bro, what are some of the most difficult things you're working through right now, man? What are some of the kinks you're trying to work out, some difficult things you're trying to make sure the fans want to know that you're trying to work through to make this better for them?
Yeah. Um, right now, it's just it's really the budget, the monthly budget that we're starting to allocate because we've added a few new things to the events that we do, right? Like the showcase, the doing the showcases and finding new players, like it's not cheap to do that stuff. It's very expensive, but it's also very valuable for us to find new players. So us looking at our budget, like us live streaming now, like live streaming is not cheap either. So that's something that we're factoring in every single month. The build outs for our events, like we're really increasing our branding, our fan experience, the way that the ABC crews even presented,
Yeah.
um, the bleachers for the VIP people, like all of that stuff is, significantly adding up. Getting athletic trainers that are traveling with us and, trainers that have doctorates in Chinese medicine. They're doing the acupuncture and they're doing this. It's like we're really trying to figure out how can we make the best experience for the people that sign with us. And then another thing is just evaluating the budget as well of like how much does each person on a contract, what's the valuation. So the biggest challenge right now is for us to figure out a lot of internal things because TNC League has been doing very well and the way that we're able to explode that forward, because clearly we've been talking about starting a basketball league for a while, we have to build that to a certain level before we launch the basketball league. So we have to get players signed and locked in. And um, yeah, I think the biggest challenge right now is just like the financial side and making sure that whatever we spend is going to be recoupable and also beneficial for the guys that are a part of this. So
Yeah.
that's a challenge we've never faced before in the sense of like how much detail is going into everything.
Yeah. How do you handle just like the scrutiny if anything that you've experienced within like the last, let's say, 12 months?
Um, I think it's just like it's very expected because we're always trying to be the first to be innovative. And again, we make a lot of mistakes, but we do a lot of good as well. So like a lot of times the mistakes are going to be highlighted and there's things that we didn't do perfectly, but like I do not harp on any of the things that are negative that are said and whatnot. Obviously, if a player is no longer a part of the things that we do, there's going to be a sense of bitterness, whether they can understand why or why not. We take some heat for that, and then their fan base gets very loud about it, and then another person will get very loud about it, and eventually it'll all kind of just pan over. But I've kind of just learned like we're doing way more good in this community than there are like anything that they can say that there's more bad that we're doing. So I never really harp on all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I as we grow, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger in the sense of how much people are going to say we're doing things wrong.
Yeah. They got somebody that super chatted that said, "Is TNC looking for more sponsors to support the channel?"
Yeah, yeah, we're always looking for sponsors. That's another thing that like I've been trying to talk to people about is like there's sponsors all over the place that want to get involved in the things that we're doing, but I want TNC to be fully independent in the sense of like the products we provide are what funds our business, not like trying to sell somebody else's stuff. Sometimes though we have really great partners like Prize Picks, for example. They've gone like above and beyond to make sure that
Yeah.
we can make that we're doing. But then we'll get a brand here and there for like a one-time offer, and they want to get involved, but it doesn't really fit what we're trying to do. So instead of trying to appease other brands, we've been really locked in on trying to build ours to make sure that if sponsors were to just stop giving us money, that we'd be able to still keep doing what we're doing. So we
Yeah.
are looking for sponsors, but more so a partner, not a sponsor, I guess, in that sense, like a longer term.
Man, let's talk about Indiana real quick, man. How big is Indiana gonna be for TNC coming up? To me, if you ask me, bro, this has been a great year. I
Mm.
mean, Lansing Bees, NBA players involved. I mean, shit. The emergence of Latin Davis, Rob Cologne doing his thing. Cam So Smooth ain't been losing. Moon ain't been losing. It's a lot of shit going on, man. So talk to me about Indiana and what are the expectations with Lance Stevenson being involved.
Yeah, I mean, Lance has lined up probably the best talent we've seen in a city. A lot of these guys are just like dudes he's sparring with every day that are part of, the training camps of the Pacers, and just guys that have been around a lot of talent that are right at that level as well. And it's a good time because they're about to leave to go overseas. Some of them are still going to be around, but Lance had lined up probably the best lineup that any city's done. New Jersey was actually really good, so Eli picked up a lot of good guys for that. And we got a few of the Pacer guys pulling up. Haven't really confirmed exactly which ones, but Lance did say he's going to get a few of them out there. And then as far as the crowd that's going to be there, I do expect it to be our biggest event we've ever done, and we'll probably just like up the capacity a little because we always usually put out like 500 people, and then if there's a few more that want some tickets, we do it. But it's a half court event, so if you do anything more than that, it starts to get like chaotic.
Yeah.
But I think Indy's going to be the biggest one as far as fan experience, but it's always hard to tell like what city's going to be the most viral because like San Francisco didn't have the biggest fan, like the most fans there, but all the videos went nuts.
Yeah. I got a super chat. They said I was asking about Ness. There's just a couple matchups for Ness, like in terms of like Lad, Keon. Ness is just a real staple guy in the community to me that is a very independent thinker. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? The way he approaches like not only the game, but the way he approaches the space. To that you say what?
I mean, we've had conversations with Nesco because we've also had a good work relationship with Nesco. Um, I think that we again, like I keep saying it, like to be a part of TNC, what we are looking to do is get people to lock in on the longer term. So if Nesco were to come to TNC, we'd be open to a conversation. But he would probably be able to jump in and matchups like Lat, Keon, Kel, Cam, Day Day, Friga. Like there's definitely an abundance of matchups, and that would all kind of be structured based on like who his first opponent is, and if he's winning, obviously he's just going to keep climbing the scale up
Yeah.
inside the TNC structure. But
Hmm.
you know, sometimes it's not right for certain people at a certain time, and I think he's doing so good for himself independently um, that I just don't know if it really makes sense right now. But we'd be open to a conversation.
Give me, Scotty. Give me 1 second. I gotta take this real quick. 1 second. It's gonna take me like 2 seconds. I'm putting the screen on music, so you're not even being looked at right now.
Thank you, Big Sound.
Got pictures of the past on the dashboard. but I'm focused on the future and move fast for it. I can't be stupid, I can't crash for it. This was a gift, I promise you I didn't ask for it. Went to war with my own family, can't understand it. How do people say they love you, leave you stranded? Open-handed, disappointed and damaged. Know if I ever get the chance, I'm a vanish. The crowd getting louder, I just want money, peace, and power. In the belly of the beast, you get devoured. And hours and hours, I wasn't stopping till I found out. Gotta find a way to live without you.
All right, we back. But yeah, bro. To be honest, bro, I understand what you've been trying to do this entire time. I just wanted the fans to understand like your perspective on things and what you're trying to build, and that way, fans could either be angry, they could agree with it, they could support, whatever the case may be, bro. But to me, I feel like what's being misconstrued is that, bro, you're allowing players to make decisions. I mean, you do whatever you want.
Mm.
If I'm saying this is what we want to do over here, either you with us or, you know what I'm saying, you can go wherever you want to go to make decisions for yourself. So I think that's the main thing I wanted you to get across in terms of all like what I was talking about earlier with specific players or your vision for the future, TNC League, you know what I'm saying, how the fans are supporting, if they support where it's going, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's what I want to get at. But let's talk about some guys, man, that you have been enjoying watching this year.
Mm. Uh, I think the number one, probably Lat as like a newcomer. Like Lat has just he's gotten to that level where I'm really interested to see how he's gonna do like in a YouTube game where the fans really get to see how good he really is.
Yep.
Um, but it's his mentality and it's his approach and also the fact that like he's embracing everything that it comes with. He's embracing all of the challenges. He's embracing starting making his own content. There's a lot of stuff that Lat's about to be doing that I'm really excited for him to announce to everybody. But I think he gives me like a great like leader vibe. Um, and I think he does a really good job with the guys on the Michigan side, like Keon and Malik and even Mike Bruce now. Day-Day's more locked in on the Charlotte side. Of course, he's a Michigan guy, but like
Yeah.
those four that are out there have been great, and I've been enjoying watching them. Malik is up there too, just for the way that I feel like Malik is like a basketball savant, and like he studies the hell out of his opponent. Um, I just like guys that play the game where if they lose, like you feel like it's the end of the world to them. Like the guys that can lose and just move on to the next matchup. Like I really hate watching that because it makes me feel like it's just a waste of time. Like I want that competitor that like doesn't care; they just want to win.
Yeah. Yeah. Based on Latin Dave, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm gonna say this, Scotty. There's factions within TNC, like the Charlotte faction, the Michigan faction.
Hmm.
There's
Even
another faction, Oklahoma faction. I'm gonna keep it 100. Some of these guys gonna have to see each other.
They'll have to play against each other.
Yeah, like they're gonna have
Mhm.
to, especially the trajectory of a Lat and a Keon, or Cam and a Day or Cam and
Yeah,
Tay is Charlotte now. So like a
yeah.
Cam and
I
like these
think I
guys are
think
Michigan
I
gonna see each
think
other.
Cam and Day Day is gonna be when they do play a one-on-one. That's gonna be like a very fun one to watch.
Yeah,
It's gonna be very fun. Um, Dude, I think most people know by now what the main event live stream is gonna be out
yeah.
there in Indiana. Yep.
Wait. What?
You know what it is.
I
We
don't
got
know. I don't know. I'm
we're,
stupid.
we're going we're going Cam and Day Day against Keon and Lat as the main event out in Indiana. So that's gonna be live streamed on TNC League. So everybody will get to see that game. And if you don't want to pay to support the live stream side and also what we're growing over there, that's totally fine. It'll come out on YouTube. That will actually probably come out like 3 weeks after. Yeah, it'll be about that.
Yeah,
Don't
Scotty.
quote me on that because I don't know what our schedule currently is. It could potentially come out like 2.5 weeks, or it could be even longer. But
Yeah.
I think consuming the content live is just a better experience,
Hmm.
way better.
I would say this. Doing the broadcast live, it kind of feels like what's the term I'm looking for? It's not the NBA finals, but it's like during the playoffs where you gotta like sign everything in, and like get everything going. Like doing it live, it is a different feeling even for us at the table. Well, for me, I'm not gonna speak
Yeah.
for Millie and Cell, but it's a different feeling for me at the table than compared to, well, they can edit this out if I say this, whatever it can be. You gotta be on point the
Yeah,
entire
like
broadcast.
I think Cell ran into that at the end of the game.
That was funny.
But or no, the live stream stuff, like as soon as we ended the live stream and we went to just like regular recording, it was so much less stressful. Like I'm not stressed at all during those games, but the live stream side, it's like you have the headsets in and you're getting thousands of call outs throughout the entire stream of like what angle's going up and film this and film that and boost this and like there's so many like call outs that you have and so much direction from the director on the live stream side. So it's an intense experience that like I wish people could understand like how wild it is like in
Yeah,
the moment. It seems so easy, but there's a lot of shit going on.
yeah. Being that BJ and Caleb are both going to be going overseas, what is the focus on for that 6'6", 6'4", 6'5", what I'm saying, tall guard faction?
Yeah, I mean we there's a chance BJ's coming to Indiana with us. Trying to get him to do that before he goes overseas. But the taller faction, I mean, it's tough. I think there's probably another 3 or 4 guys that we're bringing for this season of TNC League in Indiana that are going to fit into that faction. Um, but it's hard to right now. There's not enough money in the space to get the 6'6s and the 6'7s that have like really good guard game. There's just not. And the only way to actually do that though is like again, this comes into like what we're trying to build and what we're focused on. But like if you are a 6'7" guard and you're really skillful and you can play ones, it makes sense for you to be involved on this platform, that platform, that platform, that platform, and stack your money. But with us, like we're not going to see as many of those because it's a harder financial thing to make sure that they're able to stick around on one platform the whole time and just like lock in on that because those guys are giving up a lot by not going overseas in order to try this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, give me a timeline, Scotty, on just like where you see this space being. You know what I'm saying? Within like let's say I'm a 10-year guy.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, I think 10 years from now, I think that TNC will, because I can really only speak on us. TNC will be in a position where I think that basketball players will be they'll have an opportunity to play like one game a year, like one big game a year, and walk out with like 500K off one game. And people just do that as like just like boxers and UFC fighters. Like they might only fight once or twice a year when they're the really, really big names. I think it'll get to that point. But also like TNC is not just a one-on-one basketball platform. Like there's gonna be a basketball league and 10 years from now, I don't see how we don't have like 20-30 million dollars a month of subscription revenue in order to fund that league to where there's 64 players in the league making 40-50K a month damn near. So I think it's going to get to that point when the basketball league is built out and the basketball league is going to feed into pay-per-view matchups as well because you're obviously going to see like our own version of like SGA and John Moran and Anthony Edwards, like you're going to see that version and they're going to compete all season long. And one of them's going to get the MVP and the other one's going to say like, nah, you didn't deserve that, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Like monster one-on-one matchup. So everything that we're building is just one-on-ones, 3-on-3s, 2-on-2s, 5-on-5s, basketball league, tournaments, all of that. So I feel like the potential's going to be like $100 million a month company potential in 10 years. So it's going to get big.
How important? Because I'm starting to notice something. The team setting is low key kind of sneaking its way back. I don't know if you feel like that, but like with the TNC league content, with the threes being at the forefront most of the time, and then the 2v2s and stuff, like the team setting kind of sneaking its way back into like not importance, but of like, hold on, you got to be able to hoop in these team settings too to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's just been kind of forced with some of the new talent that we've been bringing in because a lot of the new guys that we bring to the scene, they're not that skilled at one-on-ones yet, but they're really elite at the threes and the twos and the fives. So some of the guys that are the top one-on-one guys have to step it up and they have to kind of redesign their game to be able to still look good out there when they're playing with those guys that are used to that stuff. So I think it's benefited both sides. Like the side that's pro is helping them get better at the other stuff, and the side that's the YouTube hoopers are helping the pros get better at the ones.
Yeah.
Um, so it's all kind of meshing together really well.
Brother, they got a super chat that says, can we address KD shouting out Free in the YouTube community? Such a great accomplishment.
I mean, that was definitely huge. The first time that I heard KD was a fan of all of this stuff was actually like a conversation with Kyrie, is just saying that like how TNC and YouTube basketball and even I mean Kyrie's been watching you for a while, but
Bullshit.
those guys he has.
Hold on,
He
hold on,
was
hold on.
calling
You
out
you
your
broke
videos of
you
you at
broke
the
you
park.
broke up a little bit. Yeah, he did. Facts.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's really like involved in watching this stuff. But KD he had shared that KD's been a huge fan of this space, and they all talk too about like the guys that they like and who the top five are in that community. It's just I feel like it's starting to get more accepted for them to give credit to this space because for a while it was just like YouTubers and maybe they were like embarrassed to say that they watch Cash Nationally and Flight all day long, you know what I mean? But like now that there's a competitive side, it's like, oh, I watch all of them now. Like it's just more accepted. And I think that they're starting to show more love. So yeah, KD was very loud about it, and it was cool to see. I really think that
Very loud. Like
yeah,
a tweet line, like a timeline of tweets.
I think there's a very, very, very huge chance that when KD does retire, he'll play on TNC.
You think so? I
Yeah.
think Kyrie is a shoe in.
He'll be the catalyst. Yeah. I mean, like Kyrie's going to be a catalyst for it because he's definitely going to play a game. Like he's been itching for it. It's just, there's other things he's doing right now. Obviously,
man.
when I say other things he's doing, I don't mean to undermine that at all. He's just like there's no reason for him to even step foot in what we're doing because we're the small fish.
Hey,
Very.
who the homeboy they was talking to? Who the homeboy KD was talking to?
You talking about Jacob the Clipper?
Yeah. You talk about him when you saw some of the things he said. I gotta get a little negative too, though. Come on, man.
No. He just said that he was calling the YouTubers randoms and then just kind of like using things to kind of like be like derogatory about like what these guys are doing. But we actually had somebody reach out on behalf of him, and he was just saying that he would play, but it would have to be with no cameras on because we were clout chasing apparently by making that post.
Clout chasing, but he the one talking about everybody else on the scene. He talking about Scoob, Nas, Rob, Freak, Eli, all the guys that they mentioned, all the guys that KD mentioned within that post. Jesus Christ, I can't believe it is what it is. But brother, can you give guys a synopsis of how you felt about what happened at the showcase?
Well, first off, there's like 5 or 6 of them that are coming for this season of TNC League. So we got everything that we wanted out of the showcase. We found a lot of guys. Some guys didn't compete to the level that they were happy with that told us that they're coming to Vegas. Like there's a lot of guys that were borderline what we needed. But overall, like when we did the tournament and the winner of the showcase, I think that the guy who won the showcase is going to be a star for sure. So that episode's actually coming out. That episode's coming out on September 10th in the full Dallas showcase movie. So that's going to be like an hour-long video, maybe even an hour and a half. But
yeah, similar to the last one.
Yeah, the showcase was a lot. Shout out to Jeremy because he put a lot on his plate and he still got it done. So very impressive that he was able to do that. But I like the showcases because some guys that it really lets me know how committed somebody is to the process. Even D Bones coming. Like I thought that was insane that D Bones like pulled up and really just like showed he wants to be a part of TNC. But some of the guys that send me DMs that are just like, "Man, you're tripping. You need to put so and so on," or they'll send it to me themselves and say like, "We're tripping because we don't have them involved." But it's like, no, just pull up to a showcase because if you're that good, I swear we're gonna see you. And even if you don't win, we still see you because there's one winner, and we're bringing like 5 or 6 of them to the next TNC league.
Oh, to the next TNC league. Yo, that is low key a Chico, low key like cat. Yo, is TNC league low key like a showcase too though?
Yeah, it is. It's for ways. It's for these guys um to kind of get the kinks out early. You know, like they come out and they don't have to play with 500,000 people watching them every single episode. They can kind of just like feel in and get into a groove, and then we're able to see before we make a full commitment and sign somebody. Um, we're able to see like what their potential is. So even in our last TNC league that we did, um, I mean, like Makai went crazy. So of course we ended up bringing him for the events, and there were some other guys. Mike Bruce went crazy. Charles was going crazy, and there's a few more that I don't know if those episodes have come out yet, but I know at least those 3 players have showed that they were in it. I think we're on like episode 3, and there's 11.
How important is I'm gonna run down some names and then you just tell me like how important their uh what's what I'm looking for? Their YouTube development is for TNC. Let's start off with a guy like Saint.
Um, so all right, give me the context of like what do you mean like the YouTube development? Like
Just like in terms of like how do I say this? Where do you see him at if he continues to be successful?
so
Because I know you've been frying TNC League. I mean, I was
yeah,
there.
I think like when you're talking about the YouTube side, again, there's a pros and a cons. The pro side of only being seen on TNC League right now is there's a very, very strong core fan base that's going to gas that person up like crazy and make everybody else feel like they're missing out. So then when that person does come over to the YouTube side, everybody's like, "Man, I told you so, I told you so," and they're blowing it up, and it inherently builds a fan base for that person without them going to YouTube and not having much of a connection with that fan base. So right now, I think the pattern of starting off with players on the website and moving them over to YouTube is going to help build that fan base, and they're going to also get excited when they see them make that switch over, and they're going to finally be seen by everybody. But I think somebody like Saint, he I think he's like very universal. He can play the ones, he can play the twos, he can play the threes. I'm really excited to see him play the fives. I think people get really excited when they see his real athleticism get shown, and I think that's when the 5-on-5 is going to get seen, because he's probably the most athletic guy in the camp outside of like John, but he's probably the most athletic guy inside of the TNC camp. So um, it'll just be nasty. Like you'll see him, he's 5'10", he'll get a steal, get on a break, and he'll just kill a windmill. So
Facts.
that's
Facts.
what I want to see.
Yeah, throwing off the backboard from Cam. We got a super chat that says, will any of the overseas guys be able to play at TNC 03?
Overseas guys, you're probably referencing like Caleb and BJ. I think that's probably what he's talking about. I mean, if they allow them to fly back home and the fans want to see them in that game, then 100% we'll get them a flight and we'll bring them back. I think that'll all work. There's even some pros right now that are like former NBA guys that are in their late 20s, early 30s that are playing in China and that are playing in the, I think for the most part China, because that's where they give the most money. But they're like, "Oh, if you like, I'm down to play so and so if you bring me out from here, and I'll talk to my team about it." So um, we just got to go over the right paperwork, and we've spoken with the agents to make sure that obviously like we don't want them to not to say that they're going to play and then not come, because that's like, I don't want to word it that way because I know that had happened with the Briscoe situation, but I will say like that being public was a way to just kind of learn from that. So again, a lot of the mistakes we make, we expose that to everybody, and everybody's able to learn from that. So That was the first thought that came to my mind is like when we're talking about dealing with people that are playing overseas, we have to we know like we can't just trust someone's word at this point because it didn't happen.
I had another question I wanted to ask you. Two other guys from TNC League that's been real successful, Makai Richard and Ballhead.
Baldi is the Baldi's a character. I think he's gonna have a good a good growth pattern in this space. When people see him play, the Keyshawn Baldi game is gonna be one of the most entertaining games of all time. So when everybody sees that game, that might have been the craziest first 5 seconds of any TNC game ever, or maybe
Facts.
even any
No
YouTube game.
funny.
I've never seen that.
No
So
funny.
yeah.
That was crazy. What about Makai? What you see in Makai?
I think Makai's ceiling is very, very, very high. Um, I had like early sights on him and him and Keon playing each other. So I'm just gonna see if Makai can really mold into the right person to play against Keon because I love his game and I think that when you're looking at play styles, I think that they're gonna match up very well because Makai guards very well and he can shoot very well. And Keon doesn't get enough credit for his defense. Some people talk about it, but it's like it's not flashy the way he plays
Keon
defense.
can't guard.
He's a great defender. Be real.
Keon can't check up. Keon, I know you listening. You can't guard, little nigga. You hear me? You can't guard. Anyway. Hey, let me ask you this though, Scotty. What's your top five?
Top five, I would go Rob at one. And I look at that from a matchup standpoint. I think Rob might have an easier job scoring that day. So I would say if they were to match up, I'd have Rob on a very, 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 very slight edge. I've thought about that matchup a lot. I've said Nas wins it. I've said Rob wins it. I've gone back and forth. I've told both of them, both sides of it, saying, oh, you'd win or this person would win. But the more that I think about it and also just seeing the confidence Rob has right now, I think I would have him winning that game. So I would have him at one and I'd have Nas at two. And I think that Rob and Nas are definitely set at two for the top two. For three, it's really tough because I look at the top fives as being a little bit different than what most people agree upon. I look at them as like players that lead their respective class because I would never fairly look at, all right, is Moon better than Nas? And let's say that Moon's in a situation where, let's say he's 15-0 in his last 15 games, and Nas is someone that's 13-2. But it's like I wouldn't have Moon beating Nas, truthfully. But I would still want to give Moon that position to be at a higher rating or a higher ranking without having to play people that are way outside of his class because I don't think people would hold boxers and UFC fighters to that same standard. If like the really small guys couldn't beat the really big guys, you could still say that the greatest of all time was a small guy, you know?
Yeah, Floyd.
I look at it like that. With that being said, my number three, I'd probably still go number three with Zay. Probably still go number three with Zay just for the fact he beat Nas, went to the absolute end with Rob.
Yeah.
But my number four, I'm trying to put a lot of thought into it and see like how they would match up. He doesn't have enough games yet, but I'm really interested to see where Keon stands because Keon's going to be in that class of the Scoob, the Moon, the Cam. And if those four were to play,
Are you trying to make somebody angry? Are you trying to make niggas angry right now, man?
No. I'm just gonna be real. Like they're gonna yell at me and whatnot, but like that's just personally where I feel. I feel like if we're looking at that class, that's where it would be. So I'll move Keon out for the fact that he doesn't have enough games, but I'd probably say Scoob at four. His resume has been great as of recently too. He's had some like very, very big wins. Five, I'd probably go probably go Cam.
So we got Rob, Nas, Zay, Scoob, Cam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, listen. I want to know that this will be clipped. This particular portion will be clipped. And I hope you're okay. So I'm saying this will be clipped, all right?
I know people are going to disagree with it. It's the 5 that I have, and it's also based on who I would match up with each other.
You know what's crazy?
Like when
I don't mean to cut you off at all, but we've been on here almost an hour, and these niggas still ain't hit the like button. These niggas still ain't hit the like button. You did not have to come up here. Anyway, what you were saying?
I'm thinking about it with the comments too, because it's so tough for me to evaluate. I hold the Scoob win over Rob and the Scoob win over Lamar so highly that, like, I'm seeing a lot of Nesco comments, and I'm having some thoughts about it, but my gut is still just telling me, like, it's so hard to go against.
Bro, listen, if you say Scoob 4, Scoob is your 4. Stop trying. You ain't got to change nothing for these niggas.
No. I know. But I'm just saying, because it's like, look, yeah, we saw Nesco beat Scoob twice. We saw Nesco, what, is he up 2-0 as well on Trey?
He's up 3-0 on Trey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very tough.
Somebody just said Adam Silver tripping.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Ness 4, gang.
You got Nesco at 4?
Hey, Ness 4. Moon 5. Scoob 6. Cam 7. Tay 8. 9. Bruce 10. Hoodie Kelski.
Man, I didn't get to. I mean, maybe all right. So you reacted to it. I think they released the video of the Scoob and Nesco game, so I'll just have to go back and look at that. But I will say, I do know that at the end of that game, there was a very bad smoked layup.
And he would have been in I would have argued him top 3 if he made that layup. If he made that layup,
yeah,
boy.
And that's what sucks to look at it, because it's like, in my gut, I'm looking at it and I just know. Sometimes certain people are bad matchups for each other. Sometimes certain people exploit certain things that maybe don't get called by refs, and certain little facets of the game that certain guys can't overcome. And I'm not saying that, like, there is that, but I just know that there's some players that are going to be someone's kryptonite. It doesn't necessarily mean that, like, they can't go toe to toe better with a different person just because that person's the kryptonite. So it's so hard to think about all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Scotty, man. Anything? I don't want to keep you here too long, but unless you want to.
No, I will say the Cam. A lot of people give Cam a lot of. They don't want to give him that opportunity to be top 5 because he's not getting the matchups against the Robs and the Zays and the Scoobs right now and the Nas. But I think, respect to his class, like, Cam's probably improved the most out of anybody in this space.
No question.
From the very, so it's like his trajectory, I think it's still going up. And as of recently, Day-Day's trajectory has been insane. So the fact that they're together playing every single day, I just think Cam can push into that realm. But a lot of people are going to, like, completely gatekeep the idea of Cam getting into that top 5 because he's not going to go play certain matchups because it's an outside TNC thing. And people are going to be very loud and very upset and say, oh, go play those games and whatnot. But at the end of the day, there's a way different vision. And Cam is totally okay with not getting the credit for that. And we're totally okay with not getting the credit for that. But I would say, in my gut, I'd probably have him at 5 right now.
I would say this, man. If Cam continues to win and those guys take tough L's, then you have no question, you have no option but to put him top 5 if those games do not happen. And also, what I would say is Cam has improved the most, and also I think the addition of ISO Tay in that group. Now you got to deal with Day-Day, and you got to deal with ISO Tay. So you ain't getting no breaks defensively or offensively from Cam.
And a lot of the TNC League stuff that we're doing now, it's like he's building, even though him and Lat had played already, like they get matched up a lot. And Lat's always going right at Cam, and Cam's always going right at Lat. Like by just the product of the environment that's really being built, especially on the TNC League side, guys are gonna just keep getting better. Because everybody wants to, go for the top dog. And that's what also makes it a little bit easier for us to build certain things is the new guys that are coming into the scene, they're getting these opportunities to play against these guys right away. And you might see some guys step in for one season of TNC League, but because the rivalry is so intense with one of the superstar guys, they'll get that game. And it'll end up being a big,
That's one thing I love too about this space is that you could develop basketball players in terms of social media and social media presence way quicker than battle rap. I love battle rap just as much as basketball, but it's hard to build up a battle rapper because it's so hard for a fan to gravitate towards a style of rap. The guy got to be able to rap and put words together. There's a lot more hoopers than rappers, battle rappers, I should say. So being that there's such a pick of the litter of hungry guys, dog.
who has a better resume of games this year, Moon or Cam? Because I'm seeing people arguing that Moon's resume has been better, and I don't know if they're talking about just ones and overall, but who's had a better resume this year?
I'm gonna say Moon. Moon because he played more games. If they played the same amount of games, I'd say Cam.
So Moon, and are you talking about all games or just one-on-ones?
I'm talking about just one-on-ones.
Okay.
Moon has played a one-on-one damn near every city. I think Cam has played threes, his previous city threes in another city. Moon has played more, but I'm saying like I'll say the Latin Davis win and the Nesco win, they even out. Beating Eli Carter and beating Mike Harden evens out to me. And I think they both was in San Fran.
Do you think though maybe the fashion that Eli beat or that Moon beat Eli?
That plays a factor.
It wasn't the same score game, but
I'd say Cam. I say Moon. My bad.
Yeah, even Cam and some of the TNC League stuff. Like I think he might have had a little bit better one-on-one performances there too.
Ooh, Cam did have Cincinnati.
Yeah, it was like 30-4. He played against Drew. He played against Drew. Moon played against Ryan in San Francisco.
And every time Ryan picks up a win, it makes Moon win that much better.
Yeah.
That boy Ryan was frying in NOLA.
Yeah.
So
I think Ryan's got like real superstar potential. He's just fun to watch. Like I think it's gonna be like a situation just like J. Lou where it isn't really win or lose. It's the fact that he's just a showman and he's unique and he just does different things that other people aren't thinking of. So that's something that I really like about him, and I wish more people would see that. Or like I'm talking about basketball players coming in, like going a little bit above and beyond in these city events, because one thing that TNC is very, very, very good at is we put on events. Like we're gonna bring a show to someone's city, and it's gonna be like a massive theatrical thing. You're gonna see all the guys trolling and dancing and talking shit on the sidelines and really vibing, and you're gonna see a lot of tough shots and stare downs and the shit talk on the court, and like we're really focused on like making a very, very big show wherever we go, and Ryan just fits in so well with that stuff.
I'm sorry. Somebody in the chat keeps saying Trey Croft over Cam right now. You cannot say that. If once Trey Croft lost 2 straight games, Cam hasn't lost all year, regardless that Trey beat Cam. If we're going off full resume and things, bro, you cannot do that right now. Not at this particular moment. You just can't. Now, if Trey would have picked up one of those wins or both of those wins, you could make the argument. But you can't lose 2 straight games and be over a guy that has 2 pay-per-view wins. Come on, man. We can't do that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think a lot of people obsess over rankings and the rankings they matter, but like in the grand scheme of things, like when you're talking about ticket sellers and views and popularity and just like overall impact of the culture, like there's really just a very small group of this community that's very loud about the rankings, and the rest of them are watching because of the entertainment side. So I just wish people would like see that, because even if you put the number 5 guy playing against the number 6 and you said, "Oh, this is the battle to figure out who truly is the number 5 guy," they still might not have the same traction as the number 15 playing the 16. Like it really is about the background of the storyline between the rivalry, like the Day J Horn. It's like, people are not talking of them of that caliber yet.
Oh, don't worry.
That game, yeah, that game to me is more exciting than trying to figure out who's the 9th best out of.
Oh, and no, I got to disagree with you. That game is not more exciting than Cam and Trick Raw.
No. I
Okay.
wasn't saying them. They're a perfect matchup for each other.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I do think that there's guys that deserve pay-per-view games that aren't necessarily ranked guys. And I've seen that idea of like when I've mentioned like, oh, I'd like to see so and so in a pay-per-view against each other. People have turned down that idea because they're saying that they're not one of the best or seen as one of the best.
I completely agree with you on that. There's a lot of pay-per-view games, like I think off the top of my head, that doesn't concern nobody in the top 5.
Yeah.
So I agree with you in terms of being box office. Yeah, like I completely agree. That's something I'm not even gonna argue with you about, because a lot of these guys can't. I'll tell you this all the time. I tell you this in a group chat. A lot of these guys can't entertain a flagpole. So the way Cam So Smooth approaches the game and his energy, a lot of that's a big reason why he is who he is. And you know who else is getting like that for me, bro? Latin Davis.
Yeah.
Latin Davis is getting like that to where like I want to watch Lat. So
part of his game, there's something that he does that I feel like no one else really does right now, is when he misses or makes a mistake, it's like everybody just stares at him because you see how hard he is on himself during those games. And like I love to see like how frustrated he gets when he's not performing his best. And that's a big reason why I like watching Lat. Like even he'll win a game by 15, but he'll miss a few free throws and he's just pissed about the free throws. And all he can talk about is the free throws. And it's I like guys like that really, they talk to themselves the whole time. They don't got to talk shit to nobody else, but the way that they talk shit to you is like they're beating you by 15 and they're still mad.
Yeah, he's definitely like that.
That's
Marine.
Lat.
Hey, you know what? Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Keep it all the way 100, bro. Those 4 guys that are about to play in the main event on in Indiana, their stock is like through the roof.
It's definitely
bro.
They're definitely the Cam and Day duo. I think it's the best guard duo that I could make right now outside of Tay and Rob. But then Tay and Rob's like big guards, like really big guards.
No funny, you can still match them up though.
Yeah, but I think matching them up, like matching everybody up right now with a partner, I think Cam and Day are just like on that level. But then Keon and Lat as individuals, from what we've seen, I haven't seen them play twos yet together, but as from individuals, they're some of the best guys. So definitely excited to see that. And for anybody that doesn't have a membership right now, if you do subscribe, you're getting this live stream and the one that we're doing in Vegas, which is going to feature even more matchups on the 5th. So actually, wait, it's September 1st. Don't buy right now.
October 5th.
Yeah. So it'd be October. No, but I'm saying today's September 1st. So if you sign up today, you get your 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
But there's definitely a reason to sign up today because you get all those live stream games in TNC League. But when you do, if you wait until the last minute to sign up for that live stream in Indiana, you're going to also get Vegas. So,
man, this is going to be special, bro. I feel like this year has been, I ain't going to lie, bro, this year, if we do a timeline this year, it's been some crazy stuff. It's been some amazing stuff. It's been a lot of stuff going on this year, and I think we're going to end this year on a banger. Starting off this fourth quarter. You could technically say fourth quarter, September 21st, whatever the case may be. It's fourth quarter. So fourth quarter, we got Indiana, then Vegas, and then we'll see from there, bro. Scotty, man, I don't want to keep you too long unless you want to stay. Unless you enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I like to hop in here. I like to answer some of these comments in here because I see a lot of times people speak for me, and then that narrative gets passed around everywhere. So it's always good to hop in here because I was just saying to your Discord today, I was like 9 out of 10 people that say Scotty said this. I never said that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's always
to be
good
honest
to
with
kind of
Scotty,
get.
it matters, but at the end of the day, people are going to take what they want from this conversation and believe what they want to believe. As long as the agenda is genuinely doing right by people, I mean, then you're not going to please everybody. And a lot of people are just mad at whatever they want to be mad at, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So whatever the case may be. Any last words? Any last words?
Nope,
Who's the
I'm all
greatest?
good.
Who's your top 5 point guards all time? And if it doesn't include Westbrook, delete my number.
I feel like I'm gonna be forgetful. Can I just name 5 without order?
Yeah, right order.
We got Curry, we got Magic.
Oh, you're gonna piss me off.
Hold on. We got Curry, we got Magic.
Isaiah Thomas.
Okay, but I'm looking at I look at everything from like a different criteria. My criteria would be a little bit different. Point guards that I think do the right point guard role. I don't got Westbrook. I don't think.
Get the fuck off my live. Fuck wrong with you? You must be out your doggone mind if you ain't got. Man, get your ass up out of here so I get back talk to my people. Get out of here, man. I can't believe this bullshit. I brought this man on here for almost more than an hour for the fans just to hear him speak, and he said this bullshit. See you on the next video.